As we have already seen in previous lessons, every time you create a sketch, you need to select the plane which the sketch will be created on. You can select one of the default planes or even create a new plane. In this lesson, I will show you how you can create planes in Solidworks. I will click on the Sketch button to create a new sketch, and I will select the top plane. Now I will create a rectangle whose center will coincide with the coordinate system's origin. To do that, I will expand the rectangle's options and I will activate the Center Rectangle tool. I will click on the coordinate system's origin to specify the rectangle center, and then I will click again to specify its length and width respectively. Once I created the rectangle, I will press Escape to deactivate the tool and I will exit the sketch. Now I want to create a new shape which will be above this rectangle. To create the sketch, I have to create a plane parallel to the top plane first. To do this, I will go to the Features ribbon and I will expand the Reference Geometry button. From the available options, I will select Plane. Once I do, the default planes, namely the front plane, the top plane and the right plane, appear on the top left of the window. Since I want to create a plane parallel to the top plane, I will select the top plane. Once I selected the plane, a preview of the new plane appears and I can specify the distance between those two planes in the Offset Distance field. In this example, I will set the offset distance to 40 mm. In case you want to create more parallel planes using the same offset distance, you can type the number in the Number of Planes to Create field. If you want the planes to be created in the other direction, all you have to do is click on the Flip Offset button. Now I will click on the check mark to create the plane. At this point, I want to create a sketch on this plane, so I will right-click on it and I will select the Sketch option. I will create another rectangle which will be identical with the one I created previously. To do that, I will use the Convert Entities tool. This tool is extremely useful since it projects the geometry of a shape that exists in one plane to another plane. Once I activate this tool, I have to select either the edges, the points, or the surfaces that I want to project. In this case, I will select the sides of the rectangle and I will click on the check mark to project those objects. Now we'll go to the Features ribbon and I will activate the Extrude Boss Base tool. Then I will extrude the rectangle I created previously. Now I will use this object to show you how you can create planes at an angle. I will expand the Reference Geometry button again and I will select the Plane option. With the first reference field active, I will click on the left side of the rectangle. Notice that right below, three icons appeared: the perpendicular icon, the coincident icon, and the project icon. If I select the perpendicular option, a plane that will be perpendicular to the first reference will be created. If I select the coincident option, a plane that passes through the selected reference will be created. Last but not least, the project option projects a singular entity such as a point, a vertex, or a coordinate system onto a non-planar surface. In this example, I will select the coincident option, I will activate the second reference field, and I will select the diagonal top edge of the solid object. Notice that the new plane passes through the two edges I selected. I can also specify a third reference, but when you select edges, the third reference is not needed. The third reference will be needed when you create a plane by selecting points. At this point, I will click on the check mark to create this plane, and I will activate the plane tool once again to show you how you can create a plane in the middle of two faces. With the first reference field active, I will select the surface, and once the second reference is active, I will select the second surface. Notice that the new plane was created in the middle of those faces. Last but not least, I will show you how you can create a plane by selecting points. So I will activate one more time the plane tool, and I will select 3 corners of the object. Notice that the plane was created according to those points. Before I create this plane too, I should mention that in case you select something accidentally, you can right-click on its name and select the delete option. Now we will click on the check mark to create this plane. In case you want to hide a plane, all you have to do is right-click on it and select Hide. To make it visible again, you can right-click again and select Show. If you want to change the position of the camera so it's perpendicular to the selected plane, all you have to do is right-click on it and select the Normal to option. So that was how you can create different planes in Solidworks. Planes are extremely useful and essential while creating objects in Solidworks. So I suggest that you take some time to create your own planes and become more familiar with the tool.